So remember the DJI Osmo Pocket? Well, they've finally released the accessories for it. So you've now got all sorts of different ways to mount and control your Osmo Pocket. So in this little kit that they've now sold is the wireless Bluetooth module base that also allows for pass-through charging as well. Then you've got this, which is a little bracket which allows you to connect GoPro accessories on the back. And this, which is the horizontal and vertical scrolling wheel adjustment with the two buttons on there as well, which are pre-programmable buttons. You also get a 32 gig Samsung micro SD card. So yeah, pretty good all in all. So this little adapter is quite well designed. I really like the idea of it, so you can use a normal GoPro mount, like a suction mount or a selfie stick or something like that. The way that the clasp opens, you know it's going to grip it nice and tight in there. Quite well designed. But the only thing I have noticed is that it kind of covers up your accessory port, so you can't leave that in there. You've got to take that out. As you can see from inside there, it kind of just clips in that place and it uses those grooves as a locator. So pop it on there, put the clasp around the back again and clasp it nice and tight. And then when you attach your selfie stick or your mount or whatever you want to do GoPro kind of connection wise, it will hold it nice and firm. So, quite confident that no matter what happens that you're going to come back and find your Osmo Pocket is actually held in there pretty well. Like I say, I've given it a good old shake. I can't think of any reason why it would come out unless you didn't clasp it in properly. And the beauty about it is it also kind of allows the wireless connector to fit at the bottom too. So that bit right there slides into where this would normally fit, that charges your phone or connects to your phone. So they don't work in combination in that kind of way. Essentially what they want you to do is to put it in its cradle sort of thing and then use the Bluetooth receiver, which does all fit together, and that works fine as well. The thumb wheel and button adapter is quite good. Obviously it goes in place of the phone connector, so really you can only use this either standalone or along with the Bluetooth connection module. But yeah, really good design on there. Basically just sort of clips in nice and securely, and yeah, quite well made, quite kind of easy to use. Again, it allows you to scroll left and right or up and down via the use of the button on the side there. You can change between the modes of up and down or left and right. It's got good sensitivity as well, so you can either use a fast movement up or down, left and right, or a really slow gradual movement as well. So I really like that. It's well thought out, decent kind of like feel, like say tactile feel and everything to it. And then you've also got the two buttons as well, flip around the camera, so you've got selfie mode or kind of front facing mode, and then the left hand button is between the different gimbal modes. Like I say, it's just got a really kind of like tactile feel to it, feels great in your hand. The only downside really is that obviously you can only use it either standalone or with the Bluetooth wireless transmitter receiver on the bottom. Setting up the Bluetooth wireless base is very easy. Don't forget this is the base meant to be allow it to charge through as well as to hold it steady and give it Bluetooth connectivity. So it's a 3-in-1 kind of base. But basically just turn on your Osmo Pocket. Once it's connected to the base, I've basically given it power here as well, just to make sure it doesn't run out, but you don't have to. The red light indicates that everything's ready to go. So you then just go into your Mimo app. It'll basically show you what you're supposed to do. Click on next. It'll then ask you to connect to your device, so that way you know that Bluetooth's working and it can see it's all set up, and it just kind of does the rest of it itself, like technology's supposed to. Confirmation to join the network and a confirmation on the Osmo Pocket itself that you authorize the connection. Once that's set up, it sets a Wi-Fi connection between the two. Click on connect, and then that's it. You've got a remote connection. You can obviously use your smartphone then, just like you could if it was connected on the side or with a cable, to move the camera around, control all the settings, put it in pro mode, whatever you want it to do. And also you can then do things like face tracking, object tracking. Now, whilst whilst I was doing this, it did actually say there was a firmware update as well. So yeah, pretty good. The only thing, it doesn't do firmware over the Bluetooth. You have to plug it into the side to do the firmware update. So we did the firmware update, and I just thought I'd share with you some of the new changes. So you've got 25 FPS, 50 FPS, you've got the panorama changes, optimized face track as well, so hopefully that gets better, and some gimbal changes and some more updates as well. So you could end up with something like this. So I've got the Bluetooth cradle there. I've actually got a third-party little holder there, which means I can also have the jog wheel on the side as well, should you need it, or I can connect to a phone, you know, for another view of the screen or whatever. But again, this is in wireless mode with the wireless base on there as well. So I could also use my battery bank to charge it at the same time. That would work fine as well. And obviously then you've got yourself an extension pole with the ability to remotely monitor everything on the screen. So really kind of like the whole thing is something now that makes it into a much more versatile filming tool, which I can't wait to start using. I've got a few things lined up for it and a few things I wanted to have a play around with, and I've been waiting for this kit to come out with so I can really kind of like expand on what I want to do. Now fair enough, yeah, we could have connected cables in there and done all that kind of stuff, but to have it truly wireless, the ability to give it a charge and still use it wirelessly and all that kind of thing, the ability to have it high up on a pole. I've got some poles that I used for my 360 work, which allow me to go up around about 8 to 10 feet with an extension kind of panel that goes on top of it. So to be able to mount this 10 foot up, still see the screen down below, and control it, Bluetooth kind of wirelessly control where the actual camera's looking, well, that's great, because that's almost then giving me the ability to do drone shots in places you would never otherwise do drone shots, or places where I've used the 360 camera, but really this is even better. So just to go over some basic features that have also just upgraded the firmware as well. So yeah, you can now do 25 FPS in 4K and 1080, as well as 50 FPS if you wanted to do that. So there's no longer 30 and 60 as the only options. And they've upgraded some face tracking options as well. So it's made it a little bit better at face tracking and the autofocus, and just generally given a few more updates on the firmware. And this is one thing DJI does do. They do see what's going on out there, and then they do bring out updates with their products to fix minor issues like that. So yeah, that's just a very quick video now, just to show you that these new accessories that have come out, and just to show you the capabilities of you know, what you can actually do once you hook up all these accessories, and talk about the little firmware update as well. So that's it for this video. Like I say, keep an eye out for a future video where I'll go over some creative ideas of how you can put all this to use with the tiny little Osmo Pocket and get some great shots. You take care, have a great day, bye now.